Today's asana is Anjaneyasana. It's low lunge. While there's quite a few versions to this pose, the one we're going to be exploring is a pretty stable and active version. I love this pose when I want to feel grounded and also in touch with my creativity, in touch with my femininity, feeling open-hearted. It's amazing for increasing hip range of motion when done properly. It's a great core strengthener. Clearly, if you're dealing with knee pain, if you're pregnant, if you've got back issues, you're going to need some modifications that this video isn't able to provide you. So reach out to me and I'm happy to help. We're going to have with us, I have my yoga mat, I have a blanket folded up in a fan, I have a yoga block, and a mirror wall. Now, while you might not need all of these props, I love having more than I need near me when I start my yoga practice, so I can explore what enhances my experience of this pose. If I don't need it, great. Better to have it than not have it. That's my idea. You'll take one knee back on your blanket. Pretty much straight line with your torso. Your front knee is a little bit behind your ankle to get started, and your back foot is pointed. Let it be straight from your leg. If you notice that when you bring one leg forward, you have a serious hip hike on the forward leg side, I want you to explore bringing a block under your back knee instead of the blanket. If it's a hard block, put the blanket over it to give it some padding, because you don't need to suffer. Okay, so you'd be here instead. Now, hands to your lower back. I always cue my students with this by saying, close the window of your lower back. It's kind of like closing the window of your bum, right? And when you do this, we're not tucking the pelvis all the way. We're not going here, but by slightly closing the window of your lower back, you might contact a deep tone in your deep core, and maybe some sensation here of lengthening or opening in the front of this back leg. And from here, I want you to take your pelvis in space with you. You're taking it forward in space. A lot of people come to this pose and they go here in a deep back bend, and while it looks maybe beautiful, I don't know if that's your idea of beauty, it's not so wonderful for the body. So close the window of your back, move your pelvis forward in space with you. You have your wall here for balance. You can keep fingertips on the wall, shoulders roll back, soft elbows. If you can have one hand to the wall, I love to take a thumb to my heart center. And this is just reminding me that this is the area I'm centering in. My pelvic energy, which is center of creation, is drawing up to my heart. My chin is going to soften down, so I'm bringing my mind into my heart too, and here they all meet. So taking a few breaths here, only going to go as far as clearly no pain anywhere. And while the breath might be a little bit limited because it is a back bend, I want to invite expansion into my rib cage. And after a few good breaths, I'll come out of this pose, supported. Can sit back in a hero's pose and just take a moment. Can go into a child's pose, and then the second side. So take a block under my back knee, second side, front leg comes forward, back toes point, closing the window to my lower back, and then I'm going to take my pelvis forward in space with me. This moves up, this softens in. Check out your shoulders and slide down your back. And if I had a flashlight on my heart, it's like shining out and upwards. Nice. To come out, I'm going to support myself. Here's where I'll come into a nice child's pose, so big toes touch, knees apart, and then I'm going to release. If your head doesn't reach the ground, bring your blanket or your block to support you. Just taking a few easy breaths here. You can let the exhale come out through your mouth. And then take a moment to see how you feel inside yourself. Your creative juices flowing. Do you feel a little up, a little bit more present and open to the world, open to yourself, most importantly. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Namaste.